And then please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and all the blessings it has to offer us individually and collectively as a city. Father, bless the city of Norfolk, every citizen who resides within its boundaries, and every city employee who works to make our city great. Bless our mayor, our city manager, and each member of our council as we attempt to govern with fairness and guide this city through challenging times. Allow us to be tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of the weak and of the strong. Father, bless those who are less fortunate and allow them your peace. These and all other blessings we ask in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The clerk will please call the roll.
Mr. Burford? Here. Mr. Riddick?
Here.
Mr. Smeagol?
Here.
Dr. Whibley?
Here.
Ms. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Wynn?
Here.
Mr. Frame?
Here. The motion is to excuse Mr. Prodigero, please.
Mr. Burford? Aye. Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smeagol?
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
The motion is to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Mr. Burford? Aye. Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smeagol?
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Norfolk City Council chambers. We're glad to have each one of you here. The process which we will follow for tonight's meeting is the first thing we're going to do is take up the one public hearing that's on our agenda. We'll call that first. At the conclusion of that, we will move directly to the consent agenda, and there are six items there. The council is permitted to vote on all of the consent agenda items in one vote unless someone wants to have something considered separately. And then we'll move directly to the regular agenda, and that has about 20 items on it. All of these matters we'll vote on in just the way that they are numbered on the printed docket. At the conclusion of the regular agenda, if any member of the public would like to address the city council on a non-agenda item, that's something that's not on our printed docket, you'll be given that opportunity. But in order to have your name called, you've got to sign a slip of paper, which the clerk has made available at the table in the lobby behind the council chambers before the meeting began. And a number of you have signed up for that. Before we actually begin our regular agenda, the formal part, we have a couple ceremonial matters that are important as well. The first one is regarding Foster Care Month, for which we have a proclamation. I see Steve Hawks is here, the Human Services Director, Mr. Hawks, and has with him some other guests. Rhonda Hanna is the Norfolk foster parent, and she's apparently now caring for 2 children, ages 1 and 2. And we also have with us Maddie Satterfield, the Assistant Director of the Norfolk Human Services, Nancy Brock, the Resource Development Team Foster Care Rep, and Deanna Powell, Foster Care Supervisor. And I see Jan Callahan with the camera back here, who is the Public Information Director as well. The proclamation reads, whereas the family serving as the primary source of love, identify, self-esteem, and support is the very foundation of our communities and our Commonwealth. And whereas in Norfolk there are 242 children and youth in foster care being provided with a safe, secure, and stable home, along with the compassion and nurture of a foster family. And whereas all young people in foster care need a meaningful connection to a caring adult who becomes a supportive and lasting presence in their lives. Whereas foster, kinship, and adoptive families who open their homes and hearts and support children whose families are in crisis play a vital role in helping children and families heal and reconnect, thereby launching young people into successful adulthood. Whereas dedicated foster families frequently adopt foster children, resulting in a greater need for more foster families. Whereas there are numerous individuals and public and private organizations who work to increase awareness of the needs of children in and leaving foster care, as well as the enduring and valuable contribution of foster parents. Now, therefore, I, Paul Frame, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, do hereby proclaim May 2012 as Foster Care Month in the City of Norfolk, and urge all citizens to come forward and do something positive that will help change a lifetime for children and youth in foster care. Given under my hand this 8th day of May 2012, and I have signed it. Mr. Hawks, Steve, why don't I give this to you? And we'd love to hear from whoever you think is appropriate. Steve or Maddie or Miss Hannah, whoever? It'd be nice. Okay.
I've been appointed to speak again.
Great.
We scared everybody to death and asked if they'd like to speak, and everybody pointed in my direction. So, Mayor Frame, Vice Mayor Burford, members of council, we thank you for this proclamation. Foster care is very personal to me, as I once served as a foster parent. There are so many memories and stories of my experiences as a foster parent that I won't take time to share, other than to say that there is nothing more fulfilling than seeing the babies that once lived in my home, now nearly 30 years old, and successful contributing members here in the community. As you mentioned, we do have several of our foster parents with us, also staff members who help to link, to develop resources and to link children in need with homes that are willing to open their doors. We do so appreciate our foster parents and our staff. And we do thank you, members of council, for this proclamation. We need quality foster homes. We thank you because this proclamation not only recognizes this need, but also helps us to honor those who serve and to publicize and recruit for additional foster homes. So thank you very much.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Steve, and thanks for those eloquent words as well. That's a great experience you had. And I want to thank everybody for coming down here. This is an important issue in the city, and the sort of care that's being provided in our foster homes is invaluable, and clearly we need to this to more folks' attention so we can grow the foster homes in the community as well. So again, thanks for coming down. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, is Amanda Lloyd here? So you have some friends, Amanda. Are you going to stand by yourself, or are you going to?
I'm going to bring my friends.
Okay, good. We have a proclamation about Public Service Recognition Week, and the council actually talked a little about this before you got here, before we came up here, rather. The proclamation reads, whereas every day public servants at the federal, state, and local levels provide a wide variety of services to citizens effectively and with integrity. Whereas public employees include teachers and librarians, computer technicians, custodians, engineers, recreation specialists, social workers, administrative personnel, planners, accountants, refuse collectors, and managers. And whereas many public servants, including military personnel, law enforcement officers, firefighters, paramedical rescue professionals, and others risk their daily lives in service to the people of the United States. Whereas there are approximately 5,000 members of the City of Norfolk who provide exceptional service to our citizens and contribute to a well-managed government. And whereas without public servants at every level, governmental continuity would be impossible in a democracy where leaders and elected officials rotate in and out of office. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Paul Frame, Mayor of the City of Norfolk, do hereby declare the week of May 13th through the 19th, 2012 as Public Service Recognition Week, and encourage all citizens to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of government employees at all levels, federal, state, and local, and to applaud in particular the dedication of those who serve the City of Norfolk. How about that, Amanda? Why don't you, that's a great proclamation, and thanks for coming down, and our other employees for coming. And
Thank you.
do you have a couple comments for us?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. On behalf of City of Norfolk employees and the Employee Engagement and Recognition Committee, we thank you for this honor. City employees are proud to serve our community and be part of such a great team. The committee has worked hard to plan several events next week in honor of Public Service Recognition Week. Fellow employees look forward to celebrating hard work and dedication. Thank you again for this recognition.
Great. Thank you for coming down, and thanks for helping organizing the recognition. Thank you. Okay, that concludes the ceremonial portion of tonight's agenda. We'll move directly to public hearing number 1, please.
Public hearing 1 scheduled for this day. Under state law, public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk to hear comments on revoking a use permit previously granted on February 15, 1983 on property numbered 333 Waterside Drive and known as the Waterside.
All right, we have one person who signed up to speak. That's Kevin Martingale. And Kevin, if you'll just identify yourself for the record and try to limit your remarks to 3 minutes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. My name is Kevin Martingale. I'm an attorney based in Virginia Beach. I reside in Virginia Beach. My work address is 2101 Parks Avenue, Suite 801 in the city of Virginia Beach. I'm here today to speak in opposition to this item. I'm sure that you know a lot about Waterside and the history of it, but very briefly, the 1983 ordinance that is before you now was the so-called blanket ordinance that allowed the sale of alcoholic beverages, and then there was a system of sub-use permits that was used to allow the individual restaurant operators to operate underneath that, and then there was a way spelled out in the ordinance to go against those particular operators if there was a problem with any one of them. In 1998, the city aggressively recruited my clients. I'm here to speak on behalf of Norfolk 102 LLC trading as Bar Norfolk and Norfolk 302 LLC trading as Have a Nice Day Cafe, and the group that was recruited was called Bar Management Group, and they're the owners. In 1998, the city aggressively recruited them to bring those two establishments to the Waterside to try to help the facility. It was successful. In June of '98, Have a Nice Day Cafe received a written approval from the zoning administrator to open. In March of '99, the same thing happened with regard to Bar Norfolk. The 1999 ordinance that in the package of materials supposedly was intended to replace the 1983 ordinance wasn't enacted until both of those places were already opened. That ordinance didn't get adopted till May of '99. So you already had two new places that had been recruited to the Waterside. They were up and operating at that point. The two establishments operated for in excess of a decade, and then in August of '09, this council, in a divided vote, decided to revoke the 1999 ordinance, but the 1983 ordinance was not a part of that vote. For a variety of reasons, there was litigation in the trial court spanning several years. In January of 12, in other words, January of this year, there was a final order in several cases that was entered by the Norfolk Circuit Court. An appeal was taken by my clients to the Virginia Supreme Court. A brief was filed in April, and yesterday the City of Norfolk filed this brief in the Virginia Supreme Court. All of this is a very long and complicated way of telling you in 3 minutes or less that I think that it would make the most sense, it would be the most fair, and it would be legal if you would simply put this off and wait until the Supreme Court of Virginia does its job and decides what to do about this particular issue. It's a whole lot more complicated than the materials in front of you would lead you to believe. I was in the informal session and noted with interest when Mr. Pishko said that he thinks, quote, it will benefit us in any appeals. I don't really know exactly how, but I think in the interest of fairness and due process that this should be put off, and I would ask that you not vote on this tonight or that you vote it down. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's Mr. Martingale's the only speaker. No questions. Then call the roll, please.
I have an ordinance revoking a use permit previously granted on February 15, 1983 by ordinance number 32-160, authorizing the sale of beer, wine, and mixed beverages for on-premises consumption on a portion of the property now numbered 333 Waterside Drive and known as the Waterside. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Thank you. The consent agenda. There are 6 matters here. Would any member of the council like to have any one of these matters considered separately? All right, call the roll.
Approve the consent agenda. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. R1, please.
R1 is an ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of an eating and drinking establishment on property located at 721 West 21st Street, and by a vote of 6-0, Planning Commission recommends approval. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. R2.
An ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of an automobile repair facility on property located at 1179 Lance Road. By 5-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. R3.
An ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of an eating and drinking establishment on property located at 742 West 21st Street. And by a 6-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
The applicant, Mr. Chabra, is here if we have any questions. Okay, thanks for coming down, Paul. Good, okay.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel?
As we continue to vote on these alcohol hours, I just want to continue reminding this council of the unfair practices we have in the city when it comes to other establishments in Ward 5 being allowed to sell alcohol after midnight. Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R4.
An ordinance accepting $107,684.48 from the Office of Emergency Medical Services Training Equipment Special Initiative Grant for accredited advanced life support training programs from the Virginia Department of Health Office of Emergency Medical Services and appropriating and authorizing the expenditure of the grant funds to purchase mannequins for the Department of Fire Rescue. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel?
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R7, right?
5.
5, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm looking at my other number.
An ordinance accepting a USDA Summer Food Service Program grant award of $518,886.07 from the United States Department of Agriculture for the Norfolk 2012 USDA Summer Food Service Program. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel?
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R6.
An ordinance permitting David L. Bettis to encroach into the right-of-way of Willoughby Bay Avenue, a paper street at 1348 Bayville Street with a 5-feet wide open pile pier. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel?
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R7 now.
An ordinance approving an amendment to the agreement between the City of Norfolk and the Commonwealth of Virginia Department of Transportation relative to the ARRA-funded citywide repaving project and appropriating and authorizing the expenditure of $1,062,868 in additional funds for said project.
Dan Montague?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. My name is Dan Montague. I live at 4605 Quick Street here in the city of Norfolk. I am passing you a copy of the Reporter. That's the quarterly publication that I get from my union, the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers. They just overhauled Cromwell Road last year. I go over Cromwell Road when I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. And anyway, it's like that nowadays. And they, within the past 3 months, just got overhauled through overhauling Sewell's Point and Isaiah Garden Road. And the thing about it is, they have got 3 to 4 inches in between the pavement and the top of a manhole cover. And that really feels good when you're riding across it. The thing is, I want to know who writes the specs for these contracts and who does the inspections. I was never allowed to do that type of work that is being done in the city. I mean, you see the seams, you know, they're not smooth anymore. They got seams, you know, and it's tacky, trashy. And the thing is, I want to see the city of Norfolk get a little bit meaner on these contractors. They are getting away with murder. And the thing is, if we write good, hard specs, and then, hey, if they don't want the job, then they don't have to bid on them. But then when they bid on them and do the work, then they have got to do it up to snuff. And around here, none of the work is being done up to snuff. And it really disappoints me, because this is a proud old city. And the thing about it is, the work that used to be done in this city wasn't done the way it is now. I mean, they used to do fine work in this city, because I can remember as a kid when I used to come across on the ferries. I mean, you know, Norfolk was a place of distinction. But the thing is, we have got to get tougher on these contractors and the people that work in the city, make them do their job. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, call the roll.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. R8 and 8A, you want to call them both?
Better do them individually, but an ordinance granting a special exception to permit a retail goods establishment to operate after midnight on property located at 420 Monticello Avenue, Unit 120. And 8A is an ordinance granting a special exception to permit the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-premises consumption on property located at 420 Monticello Avenue, Unit 120. And by a 6-0 vote, the Planning Commission recommends approval.
Okay, we have a unanimous recommendation from the Planning Commission. There's no one here to speak in opposition. Steve Romine is the attorney for the applicant, as well as Mr. Johnson is here on behalf of the Wells Fargo Center. If there are no questions, then we really, appreciate you being here, but we don't really need a presentation, so why don't you call the roll?
This will be the vote on R8. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye.
And 8A, dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, R9, please.
An ordinance granting a special exception to permit the operation of an eating and drinking establishment on property located at 411 Granby Street, Suite B. And by a 6-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R10.
An ordinance accepting $51,413.19 from the Schools and Libraries Division of the Universal Service Fund E-rate grant program and appropriating and authorizing the expenditure of that amount for telecommunications and technology services for the Norfolk Public Library. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R11.
An ordinance approving an assignment by Russell Properties LLC to Supreme Petroleum, Inc. of that certain lease between the City of Norfolk as lessor and Russell Properties LLC as lessee. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R12.
An ordinance accepting a grant in the amount of $30,682 from the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services for the Norfolk Court-Appointed Special Advocate Program for fiscal year 2012, appropriating and authorizing the expenditure of the grant funds, authorizing the expenditure of $10,227 in city matching funds, and funding a special project employee position for the program director for fiscal year 2012. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R13.
A resolution requesting that the Director of the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality designate the boundaries of the Regional Solid Waste Planning Unit and designate the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission as the Regional Solid Waste Planning Agency for the Regional Solid Waste Planning Unit.
Just a second. Ellis James, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Mr. City Manager Jones. My name is Ellis W. James. I'm a lifelong resident here in the city of Norfolk at 2021 Ken Lake Place near the airport. Just wanted, Mr. Mayor, for the council members to know that members of your Environmental Commission are paying close attention to these important items. And I certainly think that the HRPDC is an excellent choice to be filling this directive, and I'm delighted to see that I think Mr. Carlock from the HRPDC is here this evening.
Right.
And so we are very much in support of this choice, and I think it will be of great help to the city of Norfolk. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. This should be good. Dan Montague?
Good evening again, Mr. Mayor, Council, Mr. Jones. My name is Dan Montague. I live at 4605 Crick Street here in the city of Norfolk. Virginia Beach, Suffolk, and Chesapeake always virtually skate-free on all pavements and debt and pulling their share of the load. They can always tell you how to run it, how to make everything work to their favor. But Norfolk and Portsmouth always get caught holding the bag. And the thing is, if they want to do it, do all this planning stuff, it doesn't do any good for the simple reason is we had SUPSA. They ran it into the ground. They had a power generator over there. They sold for dirt cheap. And the thing about it, they couldn't build it today for what they sold it for. And anyway, Wheeler-Brader's running it real good. Now, how come SUPSA couldn't run it real good? And this is what I'm saying, see. The 3 suburb counties around here, cities, they don't pull their fair share on any project around here. And so therefore, I want a level playing field. If they open their mouth, then they got to pony up everything Norfolk and Portsmouth does. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, call the roll, please.
Adopt the resolution, Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley. Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R14.
An ordinance permitting MDV Nash Finch to encroach into and across the rights-of-way of Norfolk Square and East Virginia Beach Boulevard with a 2-inch HDPE conduit for service to 1133 Kingwood Avenue in the city of Norfolk. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams. Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R15.
An ordinance permitting Multi-Miscellaneous Properties Associates LC and Jefferson Hotel Corporation to encroach into the right-of-way of 232 West Butte Street with an awning. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R16.
An ordinance permitting Palace Shop South LLC to encroach into the right-of-way of 321, 323, 325, 327, and 329 West 21st Street with non-structural facade elements, signage, lighting, and awnings. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R17.
A resolution authorizing participation by the city in a Hampton Roads Planning District Commission study of further regionalization of sanitary sewer service and assets in the Hampton Roads Sanitation District area. Adopt the resolution, Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R18.
An ordinance authorizing the conveyance of a 50 feet by 320 feet utility easement to Hampton Roads Sanitation District relative to certain property at the intersection adjacent to Powhatan Avenue and 43rd Street, and authorizing the city manager to execute the deed of easement on behalf of the city. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, R19.
An ordinance accepting supplemental grant funds in the amount of $243,750 from the Commonwealth of Virginia for the fiscal year 2012 Comprehensive Services Act for At-Risk Youth and Families Funds Pool, appropriating and authorizing the expenditure of the $243,750 in grant funds and authorizing the expenditure of $81,250 as local match funds from the city for the pool. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye. Do you have an add-on?
I have, it appeared on the agenda, Mr. President, as R20.
Okay, R20.
An ordinance directing the city treasurer to issue a refund to Eckerd Corporation based upon the correction of business license tax assessments for tax year 2009. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay, that concludes the formal portion of tonight's agenda. Thank you.